Animal Humane Society fans. This is Katie. I'm the Animal Behavior and Training Lead here at Animal Humane Society. It is Bite Prevention Week this week, and I'm here with some tips for you to minimize risk of bite happening. Let's see. First, when meeting a new dog, you want to ask permission from your parents. So if there's a child that wants to pet a dog, you want to make sure you ask your parents. And then you also want to ask the dog's owner. And then you want to remember these three things: pat, pet, pause. So I'm going to have my friend Talia help me, and this is Mel helping us with our demonstration today. Okay, so pat, pet, pause. And this is good practice for grown-ups and kids alike. So meeting a new dog or an unfamiliar dog, first thing I'm going to do is make sure there's plenty of distance between us. And then I want to make sure the dog knows I'm here. Pat my leg, and this allows her to come over. Hi. She gets to choose coming over or not. It helps that I had treats that time, but I'm going to pet, and then I'm going to pause, okay? And if she chooses to come back in for more pets, that's great, but she's chosen, okay, I'm going to go walk over by my mom, which is just fine. So when she walks over, you notice that she's got a loose, wiggly body, her ears are back, and she's going to lay down on her bed. Good girl. Now, most bites are happening to children 10 and under from a dog that's familiar to them. So, and there's usually an adult nearby. So what's happening here? Supervision is super important, but we also need to know what to look for. So you see Mel's body, she's laying down, she's relaxed, loose, her ears are back. So these are all signs that she is comfortable and relaxed. Now, things that you want to look for to signal that the dog is uncomfortable would be lip licking, yawning, sniffing the ground, lifting a paw, hiding behind someone's legs. These are all very subtle and they can happen quickly, but once you know what to look for, you can understand that the dog might be asking for a little bit of space in that given moment. All right. Now, what if we meet a dog that is young and very bouncy? Mel is about 3, so she's pretty chill. Some younger dogs are going to be pretty bouncy, especially if they're excited to see you. So what you can remember to do, thanks Rose, is be a tree. So you've got a dog that's bouncing and you want to bring your branches in and look at your roots, okay? And you're just going to stay still. And if you're a kid, you want to make sure you have a grown-up around, make sure you get their attention. Now, dog attacks are very, very rare. In the very, very rare instance that something like that might happen, you're going to be a rock, okay? So I'm going to be a rock by getting on the ground. I'm going to cover my neck and cover my sensitive tummy, okay? Hi, Mel. She's a ferocious one, isn't she? Okay, so if you can remember, pat, pet, pause. This works for dogs that are familiar to you, unfamiliar to you. The key part there is that we're always allowing them to choose to come to us, right? And if she doesn't move towards me, she's saying no thanks, and that's just fine. She can do that. Then we have be a tree, so I'm going to bring my branches in. If I've got a jumpy puppy, I'm going to stare down at my roots and I'm going to be still. And usually that helps to get them calmed down. And then the last one is being a rock down on the ground. You can also think about using any kind of physical barrier between you and a dog that is making you feel uncomfortable. So a parked vehicle, a trash can, a fence can be helpful. Any of those things, just to put something between you if you're feeling uncomfortable. All right, let's see here. So the two biggest categories of bites occurring to children aren't very intuitive to most of the adults that are supervising. So things that you want to look for would be a resting dog like Mel. This is a situation where I would gently clap my hands to get her attention as opposed to, come here, Mel. as opposed to going up and touching her while she's sleeping. Hi, Lovey. Yes, good girl. How about you come lay down over here? All our fans want to see you. There's a girl. Down. Oh, you're so smart. Good job. Good job. All right. Some other situations that you want to be aware of where bites are more likely to happen would be if Mal is chewing on a bone, a pig ear, she's eating her food, has a coveted toy, and these types of situations, it's usually a high value item. So that's a situation where you want to make sure that you're not approaching your dog chewing on their special toy. And the other situation, the other top category would be interactions that we as people see as normal. So hugging a dog, kissing a dog, even sometimes just petting a dog or talking to them. If it's a really high arousal situation and our dog is a little bit more on edge. So in those situations, good girl, we want to make sure that we're reading body language and giving dogs the space that they request.
So what would the body language look like, maybe, if you were to look for like a dog that's happy being approached?
Yeah.
Not so much, and then like really bad.
Yeah, so what's the body language to look for in a dog that's excited, maybe not so excited, and then maybe a dog that doesn't want to say hi? So I would avoid approaching a dog that's very stiff with a closed mouth. Nothing good ever comes of a stiff body. So, and a dog that's a little more hesitant might be just kind of avoiding eye contact a little bit. And then, of course, our bouncy, happy dogs. We want to see lots of wasted movement, open mouth usually, the ears are back. And take note that if the tail is wagging, the tail wags in a lot of different scenarios with all kinds of emotions. So you want to make sure to look at the whole body. What are the ears doing? What are the eyes doing, right? If I have a hard stare from a dog, that's not a good thing. So I'm not going to approach that dog.
Yeah. So what would the ears and eyes be doing if they're not comfortable?
If the ears are pinned really far back or straight up and forward and the mouth is closed with a hard stare, those things would indicate that the dog is uncomfortable with me continuing to approach. So remember, if you can remember TEAM, T-E-E-M, tail, eyes, ears, and mouth. You want to look at all of those things and what are they doing and then draw your conclusion. Is this dog happy and relaxed, feeling friendly? Is this dog a little bit nervous? And you also want to consider the context of the situation. So some dogs get overwhelmed in public places. So if we go to a farmer's market or a busy day at the park, it might be harder for them to cope. And that might be a day where they're going to need more space, which is just fine. Those dogs are probably going to be panting a lot, wide-eyed. We can see the whites of the eyes. The ears might be back. They might be hypervigilant. So be aware of what's going on around you and how your dog might be feeling on any given day. I know I don't want to say hi to every person I meet on the street every day, and I'm not going to expect the same thing from my dog. Yeah. All right. So that just about wraps it up. Are we taking questions today?
No questions so far.
No questions so far. Okay. If you do have any questions, you can feel free to submit them via our Facebook page. And we hope that you enjoy the lovely spring that's starting and stay safe out there.